Okay. All right, so good afternoon. This is Facebook Live from Cook Baxter Immigration, coming to you on a Monday. We're doing just a quick Monday touch base with you guys to answer some questions. We're going to be doing today's question and answer session in both English and Spanish. Vamos a responder a sus preguntas hoy en inglés y en español y hacer algunos anuncios en inglés. I'm Maria Batres. I'm an attorney here at Cook Baxter. I work primarily on removal and family cases, but do a little bit of everything. And we want to welcome to Facebook today for her first Facebook since she's joined the firm a few months back, attorney Christine Rodriguez. Hi, Christine.
Hi everyone, I'm Christine. Me llamo Christine. Je m'appelle Christine si vous préférez. Oui, hablo español, je parle français. I speak English, of course. So I generally have more experience with business immigration, but of course, I'm learning family immigration, have developing my expertise there. Specifically, my experience has been with, H-1Bs and permanent labor certifications. So if you know someone who has a company and who can sponsor you for permanent residency through employment like that, that's where my specialty comes in. So please let me know if you have any questions about that. Buenas tardes a todos.
So, buenas tardes. So, like I said, we're going to do some announcements in English. We're going to take some of your questions, and then we're also going to answer questions in Spanish today as well. So es una Facebook Live bilingüe hoy. Vamos a hacer un poco en español y un poco en inglés, entonces tengan paciencia. Si no llegamos a sus preguntas hoy durante el video, vamos a contestarles en Facebook Live. Y trataremos de darle la información que quieren. If we don't get to your questions today on the Facebook Live or aren't able to answer it because we need some more information, then we'll get back to you in the comments. But go ahead and start putting your questions up in there. Just a few kind of touch base announcements. We are still awaiting something coming out of Congress. It is still going to be a few months. There's been a lot of talk about hearing that Congress passed something, and really the immigration bill passed through one body of Congress, the House of Representatives, but it now has to go through the Senate. And so we may see some changes there, but we are hoping that sometime in the next few months, we're going to see some positive change, particularly for Dreamers, for people who have DACA, hopefully for TPS members, we'll see some positive things there. But right now, the laws have not changed yet. There's not a whole lot of updates in terms of new opportunities, but keep posted with us here. Also going to let you know we will not be answering questions today about our litigation, about our lawsuits. Mr. Cook generally does a YouTube presentation every Monday night, so he's going to give some updates on that with Attorney Siskin. And we also have a mass litigation page on our website that you can go to, and you can check out all of our lawsuits and get your information there. So,
and on that note, I see a question de la Lotería 2020. So, puedes ir a nuestro sitio de web para ver, te digo dónde vas, porque sí, tenemos una página donde puedes ir si tuviste un caso de diversity lottery en 2020. Let's see.
So, todos los avisos van a estar en el sitio de web bajo, ¿cómo se llama la página? Christine, ¿lo está viendo?
Sí, lo estoy mirando aquí.
En inglés se llama Mass Litigation. Y seguro que allí pueden encontrar en nuestro sitio español también. So, no vamos a contestar preguntas acerca de todas las demandas con la corte, porque el señor Cook hace eso los lunes en la noche, ¿ok? Y él es el que sabe mejor que todos, ¿ok? Okay, we ready for any other announcements, Christine, before we take on some questions?
Just that for those of you who may know, in the business immigration community, the results of the H-1B lottery have been released. So if you did register for the H-1B lottery, now's the time to check and see if you were selected. And if you were selected, and if you were selected, you can go submit your H-1B application later, soon. Let's see. So I see another question. Okay, so see, what I was saying before.
Which question are you looking at? And I'll put it on the screen.
Sorry, Jessica Tella's question about si puedo volver a decir what a company can do to sponsor you para la residencia permanente, okay? Si sabes a alguien que tiene una compañía que está registrado con el the Secretary of State y todo, y pueden enseñar que necesitan que quieren, ¿cómo se dice? Quieren aplicar por la residencia para usted porque usted puede hacer algún trabajo que ellos necesiten, ¿ok? Y necesitan enseñar que calificas para el trabajo, que tienen el dinero para pagarte el salario, y tienen que enseñar que no pueden encontrar trabajadores americanos para hacer ese trabajo. Ok, así es un muy grande proceso, pero es una opción de que muchos no saben que eso es una opción, ¿ok? Siguen más inmigración por familia, pero sí puedes tratar de aplicar con esto.
Y Christine, con esos tipos de casos tiene que llamar el patrón, ¿verdad? El patrón es que nos tiene que llamar a hacer una consulta.
Sí, el patrón tiene que pagar por todo por ley. Ok, por ley, el patrón tiene que buscar un trabajador americano para hacer el trabajo que quieren que usted hace, así que usted quede en los Estados Unidos para hacer con la residencia. Así que
all right, so let me go back to the top and we'll try and go through these just to hit some of these. So was that it, or did you want to go over that just briefly in English?
Okay, sure. Basically, we were just talking about permanent labor certification. A lot of times people forget about employment-based options because they just think, let me try something through family. But if you know someone with a company, okay, let's say what they have to do to apply to sponsor you for permanent residency is that they have to say that there's this job that they need you to do and that they can't find any U.S. workers any qualified U.S. workers willing and able to do that job. They show that they can't find those workers by putting advertisements for the job in the big newspapers in the city where the job is located. And, they review the applicants. If anyone applies, if no one applies, they say, look, I've got this job I need filled. I can't find anyone to fill it, so let me give a green card to this person who qualifies, has the credentials or the experience required for the job, and that's really where it starts.
Awesome. All right, so let's go back. So Jesús sometió una aplicación para Advance Parole por DACA desde noviembre. ¿Cuánto más tendré que esperar para una respuesta? Jesús, ahorita están tomando lo menos unos 6 meses. Si están algo atrasados, he visto que están empezando a entrar a unas respuestas de Advance Parole. Puede ser que si ya le tomaron las huellas, puede ser que ya está en proceso o si le mandaron un documento que va a usar eso, pero puede estar chequeando en el sitio de web de UCIS para chequear en dónde está. Si nosotros se lo sometimos, puede ponerse en contacto con nosotros, con su abogada o abogado que tiene aquí en Cook Baxter y le asistimos con eso. Okay? And this question I think is probably similar from Jessica. Updates on DACA Service Center. DACA advanced paroles and DACA initial requests are we're seeing about 6 months. Their range is about 3 to 6. Some come faster, some come a little bit slower. I have seen renewals coming through much faster, sometimes within weeks, but we're still delayed. COVID has still definitely created a backlog.
And for USIS is officially reporting delays or processing times of 5 to 8 months for those initial DACA requests. So they're currently on applications that were submitted August 1st.
So we've got a little bit of waiting time. All right, so just to touch base on this, Daniel, we are not going to talk about the litigation on here. So check out Chuck Cook goes on YouTube on his litigation page to talk about things usually every Monday night with Greg Siskind. And we also have a mass litigation page, so check that out. So, and that's there you'll find, I'm seeing questions about the Philippines litigation, the K-1 litigation, all of that's going to be on our mass litigation page. So just, if you do have a question about that, check those out. So with a child who's 21 years old, do they fall under a K-1 visa with their parent? I believe you should, as long as everything is created in there. So certainly check on that. When you apply for your K-1 visa, you can give us a call. We are doing free consults. If anybody is interested, we're doing free virtual consults. We do have in-person consults with some of our attorneys, but those do cost. So you can call us either way and check out what you want to do. So let's see. Ok, tengo a mi hijo en detención de migración. Él entró el 23 de febrero. Quisiera saber si posible hacer el TPS aún estando él adentro. Somos de Venezuela. Do you want to take this, Christine, or you want me to? Yes, sí, puede aplicar por el TPS. Lo difícil es que los casos cuando uno está detenido sí se mueven bien rápido, pero sí vale la pena llamarnos, hacer una consulta para asegurar también que llegue con todos los requisitos del TPS. Pero sí les sugiero aún las personas que tengan órdenes de deportación pueden pedir el TPS venezolano si califican. Lo que puede cambiar las cosas es si tiene algún arresto de un delito serio, eso sí le puede afectar. Entonces es importante que llame a nuestro número, puede hacer una consulta conmigo, yo soy María, con Christine o con cualquier de nuestros abogados y podemos hablar con ustedes acerca de eso si está detenido, pero va a depender si es un delito serio, si puede ser que haya problema, ¿ok? A ver, ¿dónde estamos?
If we could move on to Alejandra Alavez's question about the U visa.
Okay, and then let me just make sure.
Alejandra, veo que tenés un niño y fue víctima de violencia doméstica. Eso sí es uno de los crímenes que califican para el visa U, pero depende si tienen el reporte de policía y si la policía está dispuesta a certificar el crimen para el visa U. Tienen que decir que eso pasó y posiblemente tienen que decir si han tenido contacto con la víctima, así que depende, ¿ok? También si fue a la oficina del procurador, ellos también lo pueden certificar, pero depende en qué pasó el caso. Y sí, porque again, U visas are certified by police or other law enforcement entities like district attorney's offices. So they have to sign off in order for someone to get a U visa.
Okay, gracias. Okay, if the bill passes and I have a waiver fingerprints in place as of January 2020, I'm just on the waiting period. So I'm not sure, Edith, what bill you're talking about. If you're talking about the one in Congress, we do have to wait and see, because even though something has passed through the House, if the Senate makes any changes, which they have indicated they probably will, we won't know exactly what the specifications are. As soon as we know what that is and what passes, we are going to put it on Facebook Live. We're going to call all of our current clients clients will be taking consults on that. So unfortunately, I can't answer your question to exactly what it'll be because it is, Senate is going to be tough. They are going to probably try and make some changes to the bill the House passed, and hopefully it will still be very beneficial to hopefully hundreds of thousands who are already DACA and TPS members at least, if not others. Okay, so let's see. So K1, again, we're going to leave that to Mr. Cook. So reach out to him.
Or check our website.
And then here's a question. So if you need to reach out to us, you can call our office, 404-816-8611. Yeah, you'll speak with our receptionist, let them know you want to schedule an appointment, and you can name a specific attorney, or you can work with whichever attorney fits your schedule, because we all have different schedules that we do consults. So we want to make sure that you have that time, but we are available. So we look forward to hearing back from you. And then thank you, Daniel has put up a page there for you guys to link on if you do have questions about that. Now, let me see. Let's see. All right, so my brother's in progress of becoming a citizen. How long does he wait? I tell him he can claim me and my...
Until he can claim
maybe
me.
until he can claim me and my husband, or will he be able to claim me and my husband? So once he is a citizen, he can go now.
Wait, so no to your husband is my understanding.
So your brother,
sponsor his sister, which is you.
Yeah. So it is going to be a long time. He can go ahead and apply for you. He can do a petition. So there is an I-130 petition which establishes the relationship. However, with visas available for siblings right now, I'm not sure what country you're from, Maricruz, but it is about a 10 to 15 year wait minimum before visas will be available for sibling petitions of U.S. citizens, siblings of U.S. citizens. So we're hoping maybe there will be some changes with with legislation that will open that up. But that's a great question. So Maricruz, I'm going to answer Maricruz's question in Spanish, just briefly. Ella preguntó si tiene un hermano que es ciudadano o va a volverse ciudadano, ¿cuándo puede aplicar por ella? Él puede aplicar en cualquier momento por una petición de visa para demostrar la relación, pero para aplicar por una residencia, por el proceso consular, sí tendrían que esperar que esté vigente la visa. Entonces ahorita la espera es lo menos unos 10 a 15 años, más acercando a 15, y si vienen de México, mucho más largo, porque están todavía viendo peticiones de los 90s de hermanos. Entonces, ojalá encontremos otra forma, si quiere hacer una consulta, a ver qué otras opciones tienen. Okay, let's see. Ok, José's padres tienen TPS salvadoreño, viajaron con permiso, ya tienen la entrada legal. Es cierto que si piden un nuevo permiso de viaje y entrar otra vez, se les quitará la entrada legal.
No, no hay respuesta fácil a eso porque eso todavía está en controversy. Los cortes lo están como discutiendo, Luces está esperando para que los cortes terminan con esto, porque sí, ¿cómo se dice? Históricamente, ellos sí aprueben como solicitudes para los que tienen, TPS y entraron ilegalmente, pero salieron y regresaron con parole, porque eso sí es entrada legal. Así que los cortes ahorita mismo están decidiendo si van a tomar ese tema, porque había un corte que dijo que no, aunque históricamente los UCES y los otros cortes decían que sí, si estás en TPS y viajas y regresas con el advance parole, eso sí le quitará la entrada ilegal.
Sí. And so, yeah, eso todavía se supone que la Corte Suprema va a hacer una decisión. Con esta corte no, a veces no tenemos muchas esperanzas, pero ojalá que salga de nuestro favor. So just to touch on that, because I know that may be a question a lot of you guys have in English as well. If you have TPS and you've traveled on advanced parole, there are some questions about whether that equals a lawful entry so that you can then adjust status. And our argument is absolutely it is. You've been lawfully admitted back in. You've been given permission to travel. It's a lawful entry. However, that matter is still in controversy in the courts. It is going to the Supreme Court. And on the issue of it for TPS in particular, we're just going to have to wait and see. But so just be patient with us. As soon as we know that decision, we'll let you know. Petronia, if you want to schedule a virtual consult, we are doing free virtual consults. Just call 404-816-8611 for that free consult, and they will get you set up with me or Christine or any one of us who you want to speak with. All right. So let me go back to, I saw a question here you might be able to help us out with, Christine. So how many days need to be done after applying for perm?
No, that's not really a clear question. So typically, let me describe the steps to you. So like I said, the employer has to show they can't find a U.S. worker to do the job, right? So they have to do what's called a labor market test or recruitment, okay? Once that is done and they have allowed applicants enough time to apply and evaluated them, they can submit the application. The applicant, excuse me, there are no filing fees for that type of application because it's with the Department of Labor, not with immigration, okay? Once the Department of Labor certifies that the job opportunity exists, that someone appears to qualify, that's, once it's approved, which can take a few months, you know, sometimes more, like with the pandemic right now, we're looking at maybe 8 months right now of processing times. But once that's approved, you move on to the I-140 immigrant petition. And that confirms your ability, or rather confirms your priority date, right? And so I don't know if that answers your question about how many days after applying for perm. So you've got months of processing time. You have an I-140 immigrant petition that you have to submit to immigration, and that also has months of processing time. If you don't do premium processing, which you know gets you processing in 2 weeks about, from the whole employment-based green card process can take a couple years, okay? Cost-wise, it depends. The filing fees with UCIS for the later parts, the adjustment of status and stuff, that can be upwards of $5,000 easy.
Yeah. So give us a call, schedule a consult with Christine. She can talk more with you about that. Let's see. I think I missed Jorge's question. What are the chances of getting an EAD expedited due to no income in the last few months? Do you think a job offer is necessary? Been difficult to get a job offer without an EAD. So that definitely is problematic. Right now, there's not a lot we can do about expediting. It is sort of out of our hands. What you can do, if you have something pending with us, if you've been working with us, let us know. We can see if it falls within the inquiry time, depending how long your EAD has been processing. Some renewals are taking about 3 months. Others are taking a little bit longer. I have a renewal that's been out for something like 8 months, and I just now was able to do an inquiry. So it is unfortunately difficult right now just to get an expedited EAD. We can certainly try and submit proof of that, but it is difficult.
And to that end, let me just add that, yes, we have submitted requests for expedited EAD applications. Or at least I have a couple months ago. I haven't gotten a response yet. I know in the past, before COVID, okay, if we submitted an EAD application with a request to expedite, showing, for example, like someone has bills, they don't necessarily have to have a job offer in place. They just need to show that they need to work, okay? They may be processed, in a month or two at an expedited rate. Of course, that's up to US's discretion. We have to say please, and they have to give it to us. All we can do is ask. But yes, and I would imagine that at this time, a lot of people are asking for expedited applications because of COVID and the resulting financial conditions. So,
excellent.
Fingers crossed.
But give us a call and we'll see if we can help you out. So, Mirasol Rojas, ¿cuánto tiempo es la espera cuando aplican los nuevos aplicantes para DACA para que te aprueben? Sí, ahorita dicen entre 3 a 8 meses. Están tomando los que he visto unos 6 meses, pero puede ser que llegue un poco más temprano. Si ya aplicó y ya le tomaron las huellas, es por lo menos buena señal que está avanzando su aplicación, pero en el momento sí se están tardando un poco con las iniciales. Las renovaciones están viniendo un poco más rápido, entonces le podemos asistir si necesita algo, si quiere hacer su DACA, estamos disponibles para asistirles. Hacemos muchas aplicaciones de iniciales y renovaciones y le podemos asistir. So I'm going to come back to a question that was a follow-up, I think, on one of yours asking about qué tipo, I think, cuando estaba hablando usted, Christine, de patrones que pueden pedir, ¿qué tipo de trabajo calificaría?
Muchos tipos de trabajo. Hacemos aplicaciones para laborers, los, servicios de, lawn management companies, from that to los que tienen títulos para, que son entrepreneur, who have MBAs, who have advanced degrees, depende. So, hay muchos tipos de trabajos así, y podemos aplicar si, ¿cómo se dice? Si el empleador no puede encontrar a alguien que puede hacer ese tipo de trabajo. Eso es que importa.
Okay. So ya vamos a terminar. We're going to start wrapping up. Just final things on DV 2021, on any litigation. I see all your questions. Mr. Cook is going to hopefully answer some of those for you this evening. Like I said, he does a YouTube presentation with Greg Siskin. He says he does it every Monday. Sometimes it also streams onto our Facebook Live page. Check out our mass litigation page as well. And so we will touch base with you. We may do maybe one more question before we head out. What do you think? Jessica keeps coming with the picture. So if a couple had submitted the spouse visa, the wife got involved with drugs, husband undocumented, helped out through the process. She got sober, fell again into drugs. She's kicked him out on the street, though the whole pandemic, he's been a homeless addict. Is there anything that can be done to help him? So we would have to speak with the husband. He would have to call and do a consult with us. Obviously, if there were any arrests involved with the drugs, that could be problematic for sure. So we, and if there is a divorce, that basically will just nullify the spousal visa or if there was any pending consular process or adjustment of status going. But the best thing I can tell you, Jessica, is to give us a call or have him give us a call. Okay. We've got a couple last minute questions. Christine, you want to take this one? Para los que ya tienen DACA.
Yo he visto que sí les están aprobando el advanced parole para los que tienen DACA. Típicamente tienes que tener una razón y, por ejemplo, yo acabo de ver uno que para una niña que tenía DACA y quería viajar a ver su abuela que estaba enferma en México. Así que sí, les aprobó. Tenía que mandar una carta del doctor de la abuela que dijo que sí, casi se está muriendo y sí quiere, quiere ver su nieta. Así que sí tenés que tener una razón típicamente, pero sí le aprueben.
Y le podemos asistir en encontrar la razón. Puede ser que no haya visto su familia, ya haya perdido miembros de su familia, pero sí ayuda, va a necesitar alguna evidencia de algo, ¿verdad? Una conexión. And then we'll take our last question, because this touches somewhat on what we talked about with TPS. El advance parole con DACA ayuda para entrada legal. Eso sí, ahorita, si uno tiene una entrada con advance parole y está bajo DACA, eso sí le asiste con poder ajustar su estatus aquí, si le pide un ciudadano aquí en los Estados Unidos, su esposo, sus padres, ¿ok? Eso sí todavía está pasando. La corte está decidiendo si califica con TPS y a veces hay unos oficiales que hacen la pregunta cuando va a su entrevista, pero la ley dice que sí, que si le dieron el permiso de viajar, puede viajar en eso y es una entrada legal para hacer su aplicación. So just to touch base on the question about advanced parole with DACA, if that counts as a legal entry. So as of right now, the Supreme Court case is focusing on the TPS issue. So we have had clients who are on DACA, have traveled on advanced parole, and have adjusted their status. We do recommend you speak with us, of course. Call us for a consult, and we can help you with that. And we will do our best to prepare you for any questions that you might be asked about that, and be prepared in case one of the officers maybe doesn't know the distinction in the law there, but we will certainly help. And if you have been granted advance parole, you should be able to travel without any issues. If they've granted you the advance parole, we have not seen officers stopping people from coming back in, but certainly call us if you have had any previous arrests, even if you've had an order of deportation previously. If you've been granted advance parole on DACA, you can travel. Just check in with us. You can always call us and do a consult. We can touch base with you, make sure there are no issues. Okay, so I think we'll probably wrap it up. We will answer any questions that come in. Share this with your friends and family. If you have questions as you're watching this after the fact, put them in the chat, and Christine and I will get back to you. Si tienen preguntas viendo este video después, pueden hacernos unas preguntas y se los vamos a contestar en el chat. Y si quiere hablar con nosotros, llámenos por una consulta. Christine, ¿algo más?
Nada más. Thank you, everyone, for your time and for coming to watch.
Thanks, guys. Have a good week.